So let's get started. We'll bring the palms together, just rub the hands, just bringing some energy into the body. And closing the eyes or looking down, whatever is comfortable. Take a few breaths to just connect inwards. Welcoming yourself into a space of ease. And we'll tune in with the Adi mantra, Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. I bow to the creative consciousness within. I bow to the teacher, both within my heart and in all people, all the teachers in our lives, however they have shown up for us. So inhale to begin. All right, so we start with a little breath and lung priming with the practice called Ego Eradicator. And the fingers are curled down, thumbs stretch away from the palms, arms up to 60 degrees. And you'll do a breath of fire, rapid inhale and exhale through the nose, equal parts in and out. If you're on the first 3 days of your cycle, ladies, just do a long, deep breath. And the eyes are focused at the crown of the head, closed, rolling up. Keep going at a pace sustainable for you. So the inhale and exhale can move with relative ease, belly opening and drawing back with every breath in and out. Last 5 seconds. Inhale, deep breath. Stretch the arms overhead, bring the thumb tips to touch, fingers open to the ceiling. Hold this deep breath as you lift root lock. Gently squeezing, lifting up low belly, rectum, sex organs. Pause. Spiraling the energy upwards. Exhale, slowly sweep the arms wide and down. Relaxing the shoulders. Just drop in for a moment. Okay, so our practice for the next 40 days is called Burn Inner Anger. And just like anger is a very powerful emotion, this practice is a powerful one. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes, because breathing through the mouth when it's like a very powerful, forceful breath is deeply cleansing. And it sort of like clears out this inner channel, the central channel called Sushumna Nadi. And that helps create coherence among all the different qualities that we hold within the chakras, up the spine, in the brain especially. So it's very purifying, and it's also powerful for our immune system. So sort of getting a 2-for-1 special here. And it's interesting, it says that after 40 days of practice, you will be a different person. So anger is one of those necessary parts of life, right? We've all experienced anger, but it's just sort of interesting the way it perhaps lives within us, but in a very like suppressed way, or it's been silenced, and then it sort of festers and emerges in different ways. Or if we don't hesitate to express anger, it can erode our consciousness, our spiritual consciousness, our awareness. Of course, it can ruin relationships, right? It's like one of those things that when we become very conscious of it, of seeing how anger plays a part in our lives, we might be very surprised to notice that actually I do a lot of things with this energy behind me, and especially in our times right now, anger can be very easily triggered. So as a means of creating more space for the energies that can help us in an actual way, the consciousness of forgiveness, of compassion, of love, of being really present with our emotions. We're working with this very purifying practice. So the left hand is on the heart center, on the center of your chest. And the right hand is in this mudra where the Jupiter finger, pointer finger, and the Saturn finger, the ring or the middle finger are together. So this brings 2 very powerful planets and their energies into our body very distinctly. So wisdom and discipline. And the thumb's holding down the other 2 fingers. And then your arms up to like a 60-degree angle, just straight out. And your eyes are closed. So I'll just take a moment to infuse this posture with presence. Anything with the arm extended will definitely also strengthen the nervous system. And there's a breath through the mouth. So O-shaped breath, O-shaped mouth. And you're inhaling and exhaling powerfully through the mouth, about 2 seconds for the inhale and 2 seconds for the exhale. Breathe strongly, powerfully, with emotion. Burn that inner anger. We're sort of getting rid of it. We're transforming it to something that can purify and cleanse us and actually bring us to greater coherence mentally, emotionally. Keep going. Go on your own journey. If you need to rest at any point, rest. Do your best to stay with it, but don't force anything. Come back to it when you can and really commit. Let the willpower overcome any resistance in the mind. Good. Keep going. 2 more minutes. You can do it. Fix your focus on the straight arm, on the spine tall, on the breath powerful. Clear out whatever is blocking you. Clear out the anger. Good. 1 minute left. You're allowed to be angry. Feel it. Bring it up. Push it out with the breath. Let this serve you. Pull up all those sticky relics and those deep experiences of anger that we've pushed down. Bring it up and clear it out. Last 15 seconds. Inhale, stretch the arms straight up. Hold the breath. Stretch the spine, stretch this vertebra, the space in between, lengthen up. Exhale, cannon fire through the mouth, out through the breath. Again, inhale, deep inhale. Hold and stretch. Cannon out the mouth. One more. Exhale. Relax. You did it. You are that powerful. You are that capable. Notice how you feel. So I know this is not one of the easier practices, but I really encourage you to stick with it and to lift yourself into that space of like, wow, I just did something really hard, maybe first thing in the morning, and now you set yourself up for a really powerful day. And I think with the 40 days, we'll see what happens. We'll stick with it. So Jordan asks, fingers pointing out or up? Just straight out. So like just at the angle of your arm. And so the wrist isn't flexed, just straight. Okay, good job today. Thank you for being here. We'll tune out. We'll close with the mantra Sat Nam. My eternal truth is that undying spirit soul within, and that is my identity. Inhale, deep breath. Sat Nam. Peace to all, love to all, light to all. Thank you. Good job, everyone. If you're shaking a little bit, that's normal. Just sort of the nervous system evening itself out. If you're hot, also normal. Um, yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to stick around, unmute yourself, or write them in the chat. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow.
When you say that it will help strengthen the nervous system, does that include calming it in a sense?
Well, ultimately, yes. So when the nervous system has like a strength built into it, essentially the bandwidth of what we can tolerate in terms of sensory input gets a little bit stronger, right? So we don't get overwhelmed as easily by life and things. Already, just through the very fact that we have an imprintable, adaptable system, and because we're on computers and technology so much, we're already sort of kicking it up a notch. But um, that doesn't necessarily mean that our nervous system can handle it, right? So we're adapting to take in a lot of things and feel the pressure, but it's eroding our strength. So in this way, maybe our resilience to what we can take in has risen, but our resilience for staying equally healthy and sane hasn't risen, right? So
Right.
this is going to kind of strengthen our ability to cope with, and also hopefully notice when we're doing too much or putting ourselves in a place of compromised. But any of these practices will strengthen us. Breath practices, Kundalini, embodiment, connecting, earthing, grounding. That's just going to sort of help regulate us. And also ultimately, um, I like to believe that that baseline includes within it a space being calm.
Mm.
When
I feel like, yeah, thank you. Oh, sorry, continue.
I was just going to say, when we're regulated, yeah, we can be at our center. And when you're centered in yourself, there's inherently like a sense of self-possession.
Mm.
Are
Thank
we
you.
asking? That's beautiful. Are we allowed to still ask questions?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I was thinking about like the arm being held straight out, and I was wondering, can that arm alternate to the other arm?
Yeah, good question. So
Like,
after 40 days, if you want to do another 40 days,
so it's got to be the same arm every day.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Yeah.
And what's the purpose of the arm being the same? Because you were talking about the fingers, Jupiter and Saturn, but why this? What's this arm represent?
It's a good question. So the right side of the body is the dominant projective masculine. And I mean, so this is like kind of a triggering posture, maybe, right? We're familiar historically, this posture was used to like channel certain energy to command, right? And there's a science behind that. There's a projective energy, not only because it's the right masculine, it's our dominant, maybe not everyone's right-handed, but the dominant energy is the right side of the body. And so this dominant, forceful sort of like, I am putting my energy into the world and commanding the material sphere by my own focus. 60 degrees, that angle is a particular one where it affects the electromagnetic field. So the arms are extensions of the heart, both in terms of like our meridians, our subtle energy channels. So we're taking this, like the power of the regulation and emotion and the magnetic center that is the heart, and now we're extending it into the electromagnetic field. That's why we do ego eradicator in the morning, right? We're kind of harmonizing and balancing the aura. So that angle, reaching it out, we're affecting the electromagnetic field. And I'm not sure what it'll bring in terms of like, okay, we're doing this for 40 days with just the right arm, right? So it's like, am I gonna create imbalance? Probably not, but there will be this capability to take that projective power of anger that is so masculine and is so like externally focused, that we're taking that and now we're sort of alchemizing it. At least that's sort of my interpretation. All is putting them together.
Can I add something for just how it feels? It's not based on knowledge, but I feel like when I've got my arm like this, it's moving energy which might be like blocked in my body, and like I'm feeling that maybe the anger of energy might be stored in cells in certain ways, and it's giving it like a healthy way to be released. It's kind of like bringing it up and bringing it out. So like that's how having this like space here feels to me. It's like giving it a place to go. It's like that, and the breath is like making that movement happen. Because if I had my arms down and I was doing this breath, all the stuff that I was like raising and clearing my body would stay in my body. So, and that's just how I understand it from like feeling it. So I don't know if it's real or not.
I love that. And you say it's not based on knowledge, but your experience is a means of obtaining knowledge. So for sure. And that's the beauty of all of these practices: experience, feeling it, living it in yourself, knowing what that means, understanding it over time. For sure. Such a good observation. Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
This is going to be intense. Great.
Don't be scared.
Can I ask another question?
Sure.
During the practice, in the first minutes, a lot of anger came up, and then at some point it changed into sadness, and I started crying, and that interrupted my breath rhythm. And would you recommend, when this happens, to breathe deeper to come back to the state of anger, or, you know, just let it, stop it and remove, you know?
Yeah, I think ideally you make that call. Like, what feels best for you? What feels supportive for you? Any breath practice, because these are so powerful and they affect the brain and the nervous system, it's better to do less over a longer period of time and build up the resilience and the strength than to force. So
Okay.
If you need to rest, if like a lot of emotions are coming up, we're not going to force through it. Like, feel that, let it process, let it happen. If you feel like, okay, that's it for me today, fine, and start again tomorrow. If you take a rest and you feel like, okay, I'm ready to sort of go back and see what it brings, then do that. But listen to what you need. I think you're the best person to answer that. And yeah, it's not that we have to like force the outcome, that I have to, like, I have to bring up all the anger every day.
Okay.
We have 40 days worth of
True. All right, thank you.
So excited to see this. I know this is a challenging one for us. So yeah, keep it up. Have an awesome day. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.